This presentation focuses on the measures implemented by the university in order to make food consumption and lifestyles healthier and more sustainable. Inspired by nudge theory, these measures aimed to promote healthier and more appropriate styles of food consumption, in particular at university canteens. Eating behavior and culture are closely linked. Indeed, eating is one of the main aspects that define a culture. The main question with which we started to develop this project was how we can make a difference, or at least how can we try to make one. There are essentially two possible approaches. The first is neoclassical economics, which dictates how we should decide. And then there is behavioral economics, which tell us instead how we decide. The last few decades have witnessed the growing development of interventions in behavior change at a global level. This diffusion has been made possible by synergy among various disciplines related to the behavioral sciences, in particular psychology, sociology, and economics. At the core of the behavioral economics theory is the idea that rationality is limited in the decision-making process. We talk about bounded rationality. One use of this idea can be found in Sustain and Taylor's nudge. As Taylor, the winner of the 2017 Nobel Prize for Economics, stated, a nudge is every aspect of the choice architecture that modifies the behavior of people in a predictable way without preventing alternative choices or significantly changing their economic incentives. The aim of this pilot trial was to measure the effect of nudge strategies in the university canteen, so as to better understand the links between nudging and food choices. This project, in collaboration with the European Institute for the Study of Human Behavior and Sodexo, aimed to promote healthy and sustainable lifestyles for the staff and students of the University of Milan-Bicocca in Italy. The project was divided into 3 phases. The first involved analyzing the eating habits of students and staff in relation to the features of the environments where the food is consumed. The second, in light of the survey results, saw work carried out to restructure the spaces and the environments in which food is provided. Finally, the third involved evaluating the results of the intervention. The survey was conducted in 2018 using an online questionnaire split into 3 sections, which in turn were divided up as follows: canteen users and types of people attending it, and opinions on the canteen, food, spaces, service, menu, value, and satisfaction. A sample of 2,782 people responded to the survey. The university population can be divided into those who use the university's catering facilities, 52%, and those who don't, 48%. Overall, 12% of people are underweight, especially women, 76% have a normal weight, and 12% are overweight or obese. Based on the reasons people gave for visiting the canteen, 4 types of attendee identified: the frugal or parsimonious, those who attend the canteen because they have vouchers or a scholarship. This category comprises students with scholarship and staff. Pragmatic, those who pay most attention to the value provided by the service. This group states that they visit the canteen because the food is good or inexpensive, 97%, and is mostly made up of students without a scholarship. Quick, those who visit the canteen because it's quick or nearby. This type of users comprises lecturers as well as students without a scholarship, and methodical, those who go to the canteen because, as well as being nearby, it is used by colleagues and friends, or simply out of habit. This last type doesn't present any particular differences between the roles. As for the customer opinion, those who make use of the university canteen were invited to indicate their level of satisfaction regarding the food, premises, service, and menu. The service presents the highest satisfaction rating, with 81% declaring themselves satisfied. This is followed by the premises and food, which are broadly similar in terms of overall satisfaction. The menu has the highest level of dissatisfaction, with 57% of users critical of it. In general, despite the detailed information highlighting certain negative aspects, users rate the university's catering service positively. 74% say they are satisfied, and 72% show significant appreciation of the value offered. Although the survey revealed that on average people view the canteen positively, certain negative aspects highlighted by the result demanded further investigation. In particular, the layout of the service line and the presentation of the food, the elements that saw the lowest level of satisfaction among respondents, were placed under observation. This phase involved the people tailor and sustain called choice architects, those who design interventions with the aim of altering behavioral choices. Specifically, with the support of the Institute, the environment in the canteen in one of the university buildings was reorganized, with the measures introduced designed to change people behaviors. The second is increase prominence. Since fruit and vegetables were difficult to see in the original layout, certain changes were made in order to make them more visible and accessible. The containers holding them were raised by 30 centimeters compared to their previous position, and green footprints were placed on the floor to guide users towards the fruit and vegetable sections. Example, the white bread from the wholemeal bread, and placing the latter in front of the former. In addition, the day's menu was shown at the entrance to the canteen and repeated along the service line, with the healthiest foods marked by the same quality sticker. The week 3 was the follow-up. During the third week, the behavioral changes associated with the intervention made were observed, and the length of time they would last was estimated. As for the results, in the first 2 phases of the project, 1,600 and 1,500 trays respectively, and various target foods such as whole meat bread, fruit, vegetables and items from the hot range were compared, and an increase of 28% was recorded between the baseline phase and the intervention stage. Wholemeal bread, initially found on 6% of trays, once separated from the rest of the bread and placed further forward, recorded the most significant increase, up to 100%. Creating guided pathways toward the most attractive section saw a 50% increase in consumption of raw vegetables. Consumption of fruit and foods from the hot range also increased, accounting for 18 and 69% of trays respectively, an increase of approximately 13%. In conclusion, the positive results achieved supported extending the project to other canteens and cafes in the university during the following academic year. The project's main results were communicated at various national and international conferences, at the European Nutrition Conference in Dublin in 2019,